I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could have a roll call, please, Mr. Secretary?
Mr. Knapp?
Here.
Mr. Simonelli?
Here.
Mr. Wright?
Here.
Mr. Jerushal?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Orr?
Here.
Mr. Mitchell?
Here.
Mr. Mayo?
Yes.
Mayor?
Sorry, call me Mayo.
Hold the mail.
You have a quorum, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. We can do our two meeting minutes together. If I could have a motion to approve the minutes from our last two meetings. We had our regular meeting on September 15th, and then we also had a special meeting on October 8th. I can have a motion for that?
I'll make a
Thank you, George. And a second. Thank you, Doc. Any discussion on the minutes?
Yes, there's a correction that needs to be made in the area committee. In that where it says committee, it says Councilman Simonelli mentioned that the sidewalk program should start earlier in the year, and so that residents can get a contractor. I didn't say anything about that, that they failed to fix their sidewalks, and can be addressed, and applied earlier.
So what is the change then?
Well, it should say that what I said was that we should start the inspection of sidewalks earlier.
Early
So
in
that-
the year.
In the year, so that the residents could have time to get a contractor before the contractors close for the season and won't take anymore. And we ran into that a little bit this year.
They're still taking.
Not from what I understood, but.
I just talked with Josh the other day. Someone called.
And according to our bills, we have been paying.
Yeah, I got a complaint that they were pressed to the issue and they couldn't find anybody, and that was back in probably early September. That's all, there's just a mild suggestion, not an argument.
Any other discussion on approving our minutes? We're good, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to approving? We'll approve our minutes. And now, we'll address our bills. If I could have a motion to approve the bills that we have paid since our last meeting. Or that our bills to be paid. If I could have a motion, please?
All right then.
Thank you, Gene. And a second. Doug, I'm sorry, George. Thank you. Any discussion on paying our bills?
Yes, I have one. Page 2, about 3/4 of the way down, Springbrook for finance subscription, $29,916.25.
That's our new accounting system.
Okay. That's all.
That is that's a one-time fee.
That's the first payment on the fee,
Now,
yes.
the subscription to the,
That's fine.
Thank you. Any other discussion on our bills?
Just on the sidewalk payments that we made, do we know I know we may not, but do we know how much is left in that account for the sidewalk?
I don't know offhand, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I can find out.
We did have a number of them this month, though.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Any other discussion on our bills? Call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed to paying? We'll pay our bills. At this time, we'd like to have comments from our community. Shelley, if you'd like to come up and state your name and your address and tell us what's on your mind.
I'm Shelley Graves, 227 Pheasant Drive, Girard, and I'm here about the trees and the sidewalks. The last meeting I was at, you all assured me that you were going to be sending out a letter with the resolution of what came up at that meeting that I was at and how it was going to go. I never received a letter. Now, I just received another $15 registered letter in the mail that you're gonna put a lien on my house, you're gonna do the work. Frankly, go ahead, there's nothing you can get out of my house. I don't plan on moving, I plan on staying there, so good luck. And I still will fight the fact that the first time around, I replaced the 3 sidewalk slabs that you asked of me to replace. I did that. No fighting about it, I did come talk to Rob about it and my concern with the trees. This time around, there's many more in our neighborhood, and there's still many more places, although I heard you're gonna start earlier, but to me, if you're going to tell one person, just one person, or a handful of people, that they need to do this, then it should be the whole town, not just select areas. Because if you go into some other areas, I won't say, none of those sidewalks are right. And they are much worse than what my sidewalks are. The 3 slabs that I have already replaced are already heaving. The tree roots just keep coming and coming and coming. But yet you're gonna request of me to fix those sidewalks yet again. Where's your responsibility? I know you said you got a grant for 16 trees to take down. But I don't get it. The roads in my neighborhood, you know, I could easily walk on a sidewalk, hurt myself, yes. The roads, because the roots are going out into the roads and tearing up the roads, where's your responsibility to fix those roads? That's what I wanna know. If I have to fix my sidewalks, you should fix the roads at the same time. And then let the tree roots destroy the road again, and you replace the road again. Where does that make sense? I'm asking for common sense. I'm doing what I can do. Right now, I cannot afford that, to have the tree taken down on my own, trees. I have the money, I'm going to replace all of the sidewalks, I said this the last time I was here, but not until somebody here has the responsibility of getting them out of there. If you need it sooner rather than later, then I think you guys should all do that, not me.
Your tree is slated to be removed at taxpayer expense. I don't have a specific date for that, but it will be removed.
Okay,
And so that
I'd
issue.
like to just, I'm sorry for
Go ahead.
interrupting, please. I believe that, Miss Graves, Mrs. Shelley has an extenuating circumstance. Her tree is actually growing up through her driveway and into her yard.
Into the yard.
And I'd like to, just respectfully request the council allow for her wish, which is, she's willing to replace the sidewalk, but after the trees are removed.
Is this a curb lawn tree?
It is, it's a
Yes.
curb lawn, it's one of the honey locusts that are blighted, that we're
I
gonna
think, you were supposed to come out, I talked to you on the phone.
so we're gonna,
A while ago, I talked to you, you said it was you, and you said you'd come out and look at my trees, cause I told you they were slanting out towards the road.
but we have,
I'm sorry, man.
all she's asking for is a reprieve until the tree comes down.
Makes sense, right?
Yes.
It really does.
Absolutely.
That's fine.
All I'm asking for, because like I said, the 3 that I already did, I did it with little complaint about the trees. I did it. Nobody else in the neighborhood did it, maybe 2 other people. And I complied. And now I have to do it again, and once I replace the 3 new slabs, I'm gonna have to replace 2 of the ones that I already paid for. So within just a few years, and that doesn't make any sense.
I know.
Is this the one you're talking about, Greg, that her tree's gonna be taken
Yes.
down?
So is this a head nod or a?
This one, yeah.
Is it a head nod, did we just go ahead with it?
I
That's fine.
think we all agree that we'll give a reprieve and that her tree will be removed.
Fine.
And
So
Just
just to
possible.
clarify, I thought we decided to take down 25 locust trees a year. So we haven't told anybody about that?
Oh, it's coming out in the letter
Okay.
after the budget meeting, and we have everything lined up, it'll be quite an extensive letter this year.
Okay.
To report.
so that'll be.
Do we have any idea when they're gonna start taking, this year, they gonna take any down?
If we do, it'll be toward the end of the year, that's typically our time.
Could her tree be one of the ones
In
slated
December.
to get done this
It's
year?
not slated yet, but we can add it on.
What's your address again?
227 Pheasant Drive,
Pheasant.
Pheasant,
Business.
behind McClellan,
Oh.
behind the cemetery.
I've driven down there a number of times coming from Sunset. Whereabouts is your house if I were to,
Turn left on Tilden from Sunset,
you take a right on Pheasant,
take a right on Pheasant, and I'm about halfway down on the right.
on the right hand
Yeah,
side?
gray house.
Okay. I see that a lot of sidewalks have been replaced on your, it
Mhm.
appears that way on
Yeah,
your street, yeah.
because they were all afraid when they got the registered letter.
Yeah,
They felt they had to do that instead of fighting for what is right
right.
and common sense
So
and
you're,
respect.
you're okay with the solution?
I am, as long as
Okay, good.
nobody's threatening to replace the sidewalks and throw a lien on my house,
Right,
because to me, go ahead, I'm not gonna sell it. You won't get that money if you go ahead and do it on your own.
Just to clarify one thing, I think we were going like sections of town
Right.
to try to get the whole town.
Yeah, so there were 89 letters sent out this
Yeah.
year, and it was in various places, all the way from the barber center to neighbors that are east of you.
And down
So-
that way too.
And some
It's pretty
neighborhoods
much all over.
have not been touched
I
at all.
think that her question was that
Mhm.
she had stated that only certain people are having to, but it's gonna be the whole
It's
town.
a,
that
it's a
eventually
work
is
in
gonna have to
progress.
It's
do
an
it. a work
ongoing
in progress,
program.
yeah.
It
I've had to
is.
do it, I have a place on Pine Tree and a place on Sunset, I replace 5 here and 10 here, you know,
Yeah.
so,
And I don't mind that.
yeah.
What I mind is happening to do it again and again and again.
Absolutely.
Because originally I was not allowed to touch those trees, not allowed to do anything that would possibly kill those trees.
Right.
So you're in good shape then, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you for being here.
Thank
I want you to realize though that once those trees are removed, we will be putting a tree back in there.
It'll be a small
But it'll be a
variety.
different kind of tree.
The last meeting I was at, that was our choice if we wanted a tree or not.
Not now. If we take trees out in front of your house, one has to be put back. It doesn't matter if
Then
you
every
take out
house
three,
needs to have at least one tree,
has to be one, at least one.
because there's houses that don't have any trees.
Unless if there's an extenuating circumstance like a water, gas line, or if the curb lawn's way too thin, but typically we're
I
gonna.
think,
do
I think the
one in.
purpose of that was, we didn't want everybody chopping down all these trees and have 0 trees.
Right.
So I say,
And I
listen,
love trees,
if
don't
we
get
take
me
your
wrong.
tree down, we sort of like you to replace it with a different tree.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Shelley.
thank you.
Rob Wagner, would you like to?
Good evening, Rob Wagner, with Wagner Gable Insurance. We used to be right over here in Fairview, we moved offices over, we're over on Peninsula Drive now, so promise I'll keep this short. I've been in a little bit of communication with Rob through the renewal process for the upcoming year. He just actually, sent back some travelers' applications earlier today. And then I'm planning on approaching at least 5 other carriers, for the upcoming renewal period. Hopeful that we can find something competitive with what Travelers is offering now, and obviously best case scenario is we get you, the same better coverage for less money. Rob and I are probably, I think, would you say later this week, early next week? Schedule some time to complete some renewal applications, each carrier is gonna have their own set that they're gonna require. So we'll set up some time to get that taken care of, and like I said, just sort of want to pop in, meet everyone, and
What is our deadline for renewal?
it'll renew on January 1st,
Okay.
but, I mean, really, we have up until about that date. I'm hoping to have stuff well in advance for you. If you need something by a specific date, I'll be happy to try to get those numbers back to you. 1/1's a pretty busy day for insurance carriers, so I guess the earlier we can get this information to them, the better.
And we're insured with Travelers currently?
Correct.
And that's through all the policies, but maybe the police?
With the,
police,
no, Travelers.
Professional or?
Nope, Travelers are the police professional as well. The only thing, we have the comp with AmTrust.
Okay.
So, as of right, well, there's 2 carriers that'll write, work comp and also include the volunteer fire and ambulance. One of them's AmTrust, the other one's going to be Incoba. Incoba's minimum premium for that is about $100,000, so I don't think you're qualified with their program for right now.
And Travelers does not write the comp or?
If we went with Travelers, or if we went with EMC or PMA or any one of those other carriers, you'd have to look at splitting off the volunteer fire and ambulance with SWIFT, which
That's the state.
not gonna make a whole heck of a lot, correct, it's the state fund, yeah. So, that's all I have.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, Rob.
Would anyone else like to address our council this evening?
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to address you. I don't know if anybody else noticed it over there at the new hotel park, and you spend all that extra money on the curb work. Why does it go up and down like a roller coaster, and isn't all 6 to 8 inches level through the whole thing?
I wanted the same thing. Do we have an answer on that?
I
It looks like you got 5 curb cuts there,
We
where
replaced,
anybody can pull in.
we replaced curbing that is higher than the old curbing.
One of the low spots is so that we can
No,
at
that's,
least get
that
the
is no
public
spot, I'm
works
talking about
trucks.
the 5 other spots that go down.
Is it north of the telephone pole, right
It's the
across?
whole thing. You replaced them down at the beginning,
From
and then
my,
the state replaced them at the other end at 8 inches. But in between that area,
I think
Like
that,
a roller coaster.
like you ago, but there were areas that didn't have any curb at all.
no, the curb's still there. It's
No,
on this
no,
tall.
the ones we replaced.
Yeah,
So the ones we.
no, it was there too, but it was on this tall.
Yeah, so I think that, I don't think some of it was down to the nub kinda, right? So I think they had to go in and replace it with, so maybe they decided rather than a 2 inch, that they replace it with a higher, I get you, I see it,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Anyone
real,
else?
thank you.
We also have, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. If you say your name and address,
Rachel Miller, Girard Borough,
your address, please.
Girard Borough, vicinity of Riley Drive.
Okay, thank you.
So recently here, within the last couple months, you guys did pass, I believe it was an ordinance for recording complaints against addresses, keeping a record of those complaints so that you can see who the habitual offenders are. Am I correct?
Yes.
It was back in July.
Well,
It was in your
Oh,
minutes.
the whole new life.
Yeah. The ticketing.
we did pass a quality of life ordinance, yes.
So this had to do with recording the complaints that are against addresses, correct? Residents?
Yeah, like high grass, sidewalk, yes.
Or ordinance violations.
So if a complaint was not justified, does that come out of the file that you guys are keeping? If you're keeping a file on each address as to they're violating this or they're not doing that correctly, are you removing items if it's not justified? If there's a complaint on there and it's not founded, does anybody ever go back in and remove that back out? If you're keeping track of this, are you taking it back out if it's not justified?
Chief, would like to.
Yeah, I can address that. It's any complaint under the quality of life ordinance is handled by the police. And we have a record management system where we record those calls.
Okay,
It's not used as if we get a complaint, and we don't see a violation, we just do a report, says is investigated, no violation found. It wouldn't be recorded as a violation against that person or anything like that. Just anything the police are dispatched to, we receive a complaint on, they're dispatched to, they do write a report on it.
okay.
But
And also, what about when it's not code enforcement office, not involved, but with Girard Borough? Is that those complaints are not being kept on file, but code enforcement are?
any complaints under that quality of life ordinance are handled by the police.
Okay,
So we would be the only ones that are handling
now
those.
does it also keep track of habitual complainers?
Correct,
People
yeah,
that
our
just
record
keep
management system
repeatedly
is,
complaining and complaining and complaining.
yeah, if anybody reports a violation, they go in as a complainant, so that would be recorded.
Okay, so it would be your department then to ask, define rubbish, a rubbish file.
There's a definition in the ordinance,
I want your definition.
okay.
Because it is very subjective. What is
I believe it specifically
your
lists
definition?
wood, tires, scrap metal, things
So
of that
trees
nature.
are wood, so if there's a tree in somebody's yard, is that rubbish?
Well, I believe it's lumber,
Is it a down
but I'd
tree?
have to look at the exact
No.
definition.
No, so lumber, so if you have 2x4s for building purpose of whatever, that would be rubbish.
Well, if they're laying all over your yard, if
Define
it's
all
not
over.
orderly.
If it's in a pile or if it's scattered amongst the yard. I need a definition.
Okay, well, that would be up to, and that'd be addressed in the ordinance if they wanna be that specific on it.
So if you
But-
have a wood pile for, I don't know, let's say you build Halloween props. Because we all know wood is very expensive, so you take certain things apart, you put it in a pile, so we're not allowed to keep that pile in our yard anymore. Anybody?
I believe in the ordinance it says, unused building materials, tires, batteries, isn't there a list that we have?
Yeah,
And I think,
it is.
I think building materials is one of.
If you wanna
one
stop
of
in
the-
tomorrow and get you a copy of the ordinance, it's not a
Okay,
problem. I'll
and
make you-
define tires, on rims or not, so like winter wheels, they can't be in the yard, they have to be inside your garage, they can be stacked up neatly next to your garage, where is it that we are allowed to use our property according to Girard Borough? We need to make sure that we are doing exactly like you guys want us to use our property properly, right?
Well, you didn't wanna tell us your address. And the quick answer is, we'll come down and look at it and tell you what's up.
Well, I think you've
Well,
already
there
been
could
down
also
there,
be
right?
retribution
know.
against
Well,
it.
I'm telling you, you already
honestly
have
don't
been
know.
down there, right?
Well, what-
So the chief has
what
already
is
been
the
down there,
specific
right? We
issue
have
that
cameras,
you'd like us to deal with, other than
Well,
asking us question about our ordinance?
right? So we all know,
Hold on, she's got the floor, and you're not
Before I can go.
recognized.
I'll be
right.
recognized,
Okay, we will be in a minute.
okay?
Okay, so for example, my winter wheels, they have to be in a specific spot or out of sight? Do I have to cover them?
How many
Am
little
I-
wheels do you have?
I have 4.
Okay.
The tires were on the wheels, so I know it lists specifically tires. Well, those tires are on wheels, rims. You put them on a car. Around here, a lot of people change out winter, summer, whatever. So where am I allowed to keep these?
Definitely in your garage.
Okay, so they have to be inside a building, they can't be neatly stacked up, or like, where am I allowed to put my kayaks? I mean, are you guys telling us exactly where to put
I don't
everything in
think
our
we
yard?
addressed a kayak.
I just wanna know, what are we allowed to put in our yard, and where is it allowed to be, is there specifics? I mean, if we're not near a property line, then what's it matter what we do in our yard?
It matters.
If you can't see it from the front, what does it matter?
No, it matters.
If it doesn't disturb
No, it matters.
the public.
No, it matters. We have rules. It falls under the nuisance part of it, and there's many rules. And no, everybody's subjected to the same rules.
So if I have winter tires in my yard, that's a nuisance to somebody?
Perhaps, I don't
I
know.
mean-
Without dealing directly with it and seeing it, there's no way that I personally can give you any answer. You know, I mean, all of these are subjective standards. And to you, your mess might be somebody else's neat pile and vice versa.
I was gonna say, you use mess, you use rubbish, I mean, maybe that's my treasure, because
We-
that's my Halloween props that I build
Maybe
every
so,
year.
but by
That
the
the
same
neighborhood,
token-
let me tell you, hundreds of kids come by and enjoy the huge display that we do every year.
I don't doubt that
Huge.
for a moment.
Thousands of dollars we put into this every year for our community. And I can't keep any of my wood. If you're saying, okay,
You
but
have no
it just
place to
needs to
store it?
be, no, give me another building, and maybe I can't, no, I don't.
Okay.
If you guys say, you know what, yes, it's allowed to be in your yard, but it just needs to be in a neat pile, put a tarp, whatever, fine. But just to say, you can't have this, really?
Have you been cited for this?
Yes,
Well, not cited, it's,
so we just burned it all, got rid of it. No Halloween,
I
thanks to
understand you
Girard.
got just a notice to correct it, you weren't fined for it.
Correct.
Correct.
Correct, okay, yeah, so you weren't
Yeah,
cited.
we burned it
for
all and got rid of it before,
Yeah, when he asked
before
if
it
you were
came in
cited
issue.
for it, a cited would mean you were fined for it, so,
Okay, well,
Yeah,
you came to our
I just wanted
house,
to
that
clear
was
that up.
enough. Okay, registration on a camper, a trailer. As long as it's registered and you prove it to the police that it is registered, why does my plate have to be on my trailer? It's been stolen once already. Does it have to stay on my trailer as long as
Well,
I've
no,
already
it's-
proved to you?
Yeah.
I'd
Like I-
rather keep it locked up safe because that plate does not face my driveway where I
Yeah,
can
like
see
when I
it.
talked to the gentleman, he explained that, and he gave me the plate, we knew it was
And you
valid.
said it had to be on
and-
it.
Well, no, I just said that there was no plate on it, that's
Right.
why we thought it was unregistered.
Okay, so you are telling me right now on record, because you're recording this, right? Cause you do the minutes?
It's being recorded.
Okay, so you are saying I don't, on my personal property, as long as I've proven to you it's registered, I don't have to keep it on
The
my
ordinance
trailer?
just says that it has to be registered.
I just wanna make sure. Okay, so Rob, then, you'll be able to, can I just maybe get an email and have you email that to me? I do
Sure.
work a lot.
What's your email?
R.Miller 1979. And if it's building materials, how much? Am I allowed 1 2x4? Am I allowed 5?
What, I'm sorry,
What
what's
exactly?
the rest of your email?
I'm sorry, at Gmail.
At Gmail?
Yeah,
Okay.
R.Miller 1979 at Gmail. Yes.
I can
We
get
can't
that
have
for
so
you.
much open for interpretation. If you're telling us exactly what we can do with our property, then I need more evidence.
So here's the thing, after you're done reviewing it, if you do have questions, I'm sure the chief and I would sit down with you and we can have a discussion, okay?
Thank you. Anyone else from the public that would like to address council? We have a guest this evening from Weiss Early Landscaping. Would you step forward?
Jason?
Just a little bit ahead, Rob and I, with Jason Early from Weiss Early, in regards to Christmas decorations through town, on the west end of the park, and then also lining the poles. He's gonna talk about that, but in terms of how's this gonna be financed, we're able to take care of this through donations. So the cost is not going to be assessed to the borough, it's gonna be taken care of through donations, so Jason's gonna kind of run through everything, so everybody has an idea of exactly what we're proposing.
Thank you. My name's Jason Early, I'm one of the owners of Weiss Early Landscape. We also own Weiss Early Holiday Lighting. We've been doing it since 2009. We install in the neighborhood of about 125 displays and take down 125 every winter. Like I said, we've been doing this since 2009. We got mentored by a company out of Seattle, Washington, that at the time, and I believe still is, the largest installer in the world for holiday lighting. So we don't go into anything lightly. We take everything we do very seriously, and we try to do it to the absolute best of our ability, which is why we hired that company. We, quite honestly, in 2009, knew probably less than you guys know about lighting. So we knew we needed expert help, so we went and we got it. We contracted with them to mentor us and teach us as far as what we're doing. The biggest display we do in Northwest Pennsylvania is Perry Square, that we do for the Erie Downtown Partnership each year. In that arrangement, Erie Downtown Partnership basically, again, fundraises to pay for the city display. That also does not come out of taxpayer dollars whatsoever. And then there's some other nonprofits that also jump in for the bigger ticket display items down there. Of course, the 40-foot tree and that kind of stuff. The fountain toppers, those big dollar items get funded by other nonprofits downtown. So basically what we have is you have two proposals in front of you. Proposal number 1 covers the West End Park and Main Street. So the West End Park, the new park that was just installed, we've got 3 different items down there that we're proposing to decorate. So item number 1 is the trees at the West End Park. Not doing all of the trees, we're recommending 8 of the largest trees in the new park, which are the bigger 2 and 2.5 inch caliper trees that were put in. There's some smaller 5-6 footers that really don't have enough branching structure to provide much of anything display wise. So we skipped those and left them out of the proposal, so. The 8 trees getting done, there's 3 maples, 3 crab apples, and 2 elm trees, that are in the park down there, so. We're recommending wrapping those in a 5 mm LED, mini light. Again, everything is LED, everything is commercial grade for, exterior installation. It's all the same materials we use in Perry Square. They're very durable. They will last a decade or more without replacement, even in the harsh conditions of Perry Square. Really up until now, we're just now starting to get to the point of doing a little bit of replacement on some stuff. Prior to that, the only replacement has been due to vandalism, which, if somebody goes at it with wire cutters, they're gonna cut it, and then there's no question about it, so. So the 5 mm LED light is a very small rice style light. It's much more durable. They are all hardened plastic. So, I mean, hitting them, banging them won't break them. They can slap against poles. They can do pretty much anything they want. So, we use a watertight fastening system on them, so they're not individual strings. They're all screwed together strings. That keeps the water out of them and keeps things real good. So. Light color proposed for the park is all warm white traditional, which is generally what most towns go with, unless they're doing more of a display for kids, so. We're also recommending, garland wraps on the West End Park light poles, of which there are 3 in the park. That'll be an LED, again, lit garland, that'll be wrapped on the poles with a red bow at the top of each pole. The beauty of the garland and the red bows is it gives you something of a daytime display, so, yes.
Can I ask a question, Jason?
Yeah.
How far from the ground to where the garland starts?
We're gonna start, so all of the poles have the fancy base on them that comes up about 42 inches. We're gonna start at the top of the fancy base and go right up to the light. So, that keeps it up and out of the snow, and the snow blower is running, and slush getting thrown on them and all that kind of jazz, so. So that pretty much wraps up the garland wraps on those poles, and then we're recommending 2 wreaths, 24-inch lit wreaths. They will be mounted on either side of the new sign on the stonework that's there. They'll also be powered and lit with red bows on them, so. The last item is the garland on the Main Street light poles. There are approximately, not approximately, exactly, there are 41 pole lights, street lights going down from this point heading west. We talked about every pole. My recommendation is every other pole. That's what's in the proposal. Because every pole would get, number one, really expensive, but I don't think you need it either. Towards the I think there's snowflakes? Snowflakes. They're every other pole, I believe, and so.
Okay.
So that's our recommendation, is to wrap from those down, again, down to the top of the ornamental base, which is about 44 inches up, so. Again, red bow at the top, warm white lighting.
So I saw in there just it said 2 bows, and I, correct me if I'm one on
Oh,
one
yeah.
side, one on the other side.
Yes, sorry,
So either
yeah.
way you're coming, right?
Yeah, all the poles will have a bow on each side, so it doesn't matter which way you're going, so. The ones in the park will just have one, because there's railroad tracks on the back, so we'll face the bow to the street side, so. So, the question always comes up, what does this cost ongoing down the road? Our best estimates for cost right now, for the West End Park, the cost next year would drop to around $1,300, right in that ballpark. The cost on the light poles going up and down Main Street here would drop to about $2,600, for a total of about $3,900 is what the ongoing expense to put it back up, take it back down, package it, I'll do all that kind of stuff. So those are the rough labor costs going forward, which are really the only.
I know you explained to me, but can you explain to them what the advantage of the $3,900 is?
Well, a lot
You
of,
talked about storage, you talked about, the example you gave me was, George, people call me all the time and say, hey, can you put up my Christmas lights? And you say, we don't do that because when I go out there, everything's in a ball, and I gotta go through everything and figure out what it was, so
Right.
But you have a system that would make it easier when you,
There's a very defined method of doing takedowns.
that'd be like Doug Wright's Christmas lights in his.
Don't see
Tangled
any
mess.
Christmas lights in my house for that reason.
Yeah, so included in the bids and everything else is all of our packaging. So in the initial first year here, we have the cost built into the proposal for, 55-gallon totes, that all of this stuff. So when we take the display down, the borough's gonna store it, and we do offer storage. But as of right now, the borough is gonna store the materials. We would still take the entire display down, tag everything, label everything, so we know exactly where it goes. We would also take it back to our warehouse. We have about 18,000 square feet in heated warehouse. We take every display back, we unpackage it, lay it out underneath our forced fire heating in the warehouses, and we thoroughly dry everything. And then repackage it, and then we would bring it back to whatever storage facility you wanted us to put it in. So, 99% of our customers have us store the materials. Bigger displays like this, Perry Square, generally they figure out the storage for it. But it's critical that the stuff, keep in mind, we're gonna be taking this down in generally early January, mid-January, depending on the weather. This stuff is gonna have ice in it, it's gonna have snow and water in it. If it's not properly cared for at the takedown, the next year you go to take it out, you will have mold on it, and you will have everything else wrong with it. It deteriorates all of the product quickly. So, like I said, Perry Square, we handle every year, we maintain it, we put it up, we take it down. We're a decade later, the materials are still mostly completely fine.
Now,
So-
you're gonna include our carolers, now, those carolers,
So
we have to have the carolers.
We discussed that, so, and the cost to do that, and for us to do that work and put it up and take it down and all that stuff, we ended up choosing to remove all of that from the proposal, thinking that the borough employees would handle it, so.
Okay,
So
We will
Wells
certainly
Park, right?
advise.
George, is that what we were
Yeah,
talking
right, yeah.
about? All the Wells Park in this area
And
would
maybe-
still be
Yeah.
the public
And
works.
and it's up to us, but I thought, you could work with Dennis in terms of,
Absolutely.
maybe there's a better placement or whatever, and, to coordinate with what you had going on.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you would change
absolutely.
any of it, maybe there's a suggestion or two.
Yeah, we could certainly consult on anything you wanted, our help with as far as that goes, how it gets set up and where it goes and all that jazz. We're more than happy to help out, so.
I'd like to clarify that we would own all of the materials.
You will own all of the materials. Yeah, that's why the initial cost is up there. There's a lot of companies that offer rental programs and all this kind of other stuff. We've never done that. And it really got cemented to me when we got invited down to Perry Square. In my initial meeting with them after they had a budget of $10,000 every year they spent. And my first meeting with them was, well, what materials do you have? And their answer was none. I'm like, you've spent $10,000 every year and you don't even own anything. It was pretty astounding to me. So we've always worked off of this on all of our displays. The initial upfront cost is a little bit more, but your costs plummet. After that, all you're paying is the labor. You put them up and take them down.
Can you tell us what kind of effect this would have on the town at Christmas time?
Well, I know the effect at Perry Square. I know the effect at Romelo's. They do a very large display with us as well. I know the amount of business it drives, down there. But, the city claims that they see a huge uptick in downtown traffic when the park is lit. I'm only going off the numbers that they have, but, and they've continued to do more, so it's hard for me to say exactly what the lighting does, but it started with the lighting. But now they've added an ice rink to the park in the winter time they put in there. They've done some other stuff, and they do some dedicated programming that draws a lot of people. Certainly the light up night is a big deal down there, for the grand lighting every year. But I think you will find, it certainly will help to drive downtown traffic.
Now, we have Santa coming,
Mm-hmm.
the 28th, and that's when we were gonna turn all the lights on.
28th of November. That's Black Friday.
Just thought I'd mention that.
Maybe,
Yeah. Of course. I'm sorry, this is Matt Kelly. He heads up he is our production manager for our holiday lighting installation work. That's why I'm looking at him. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
We can have it up and ready to roll. So,
okay, alright.
So then, going back to, the cost can be taken care of by no donation, so the first year there is no cost, set up and take down and started building the cost.
sorry.
So year two would be $3,900, so, my thinking here again is $3,900, I think there are organizations out there in Girard that would step forward and pay the $3,900, so I don't see that moving forward as an expense that the borough is going to have to incorporate down the road. I think the $3,900 will find a way to take care of that, and I believe the $3,900 is maybe is well worth it to have them do it, because they're gonna store it, they're gonna put it in order, it's just gonna be simpler the following year, right? Now, maybe down the road, maybe in year two, maybe the borough crew could step in and do it, and the $3,900 wouldn't come into play, but you tell me, I don't think the $3,900 is going to be an issue in year two. I think we'll have different organizations throughout the community that would step up and take care of that cost. That's
Yeah,
me.
there's definitely a way to take stuff down. There's no question about it, as far as storing strings of lights and storing bows and everything else to keep them in decent shape.
Okay.
Can I
So-
ask one question too?
I think we're good.
The guarantee on the equipment, he's saying that it should last 10 years, so is the guarantee on the equipment 10 years too?
No, there's, generally, we guarantee everything for 2 years guaranteed. So if there's any failure of any product in 2 years, then we automatically replace it at our cost. Like I say, we don't get any guarantee. But, and I have a string of lights in my truck I can bring in if anybody wants to see them, or the garland, but it's generally, it holds up really well, so. The trees, the other thing I should mention, so what we specified is for trunk and branch wrap, so anybody that's not familiar with that, what we're gonna do, we don't lose it. Because of the issues with, the general public in parks, we don't leave anything loose, so everything is firmly attached. So all of the trees that we're doing will be spiral wrapped trunk and branches, so that, and we do all major branches, so there's no loose strings of lights hanging around a tree to blow off any of that kind of stuff that go on. So we absolutely firmly install everything. All cords are included, all timers are included, everything we need to do the job is in here.
So it would be up, around November 28th, right?
Correct.
And
Yep.
it would come down when?
It can come down whenever you guys tell us to. So we really, our come down schedule kind of floats. That's really much more of an open schedule than to put up. Generally, everybody wants up by Thanksgiving, turn on Black Friday. But take down, we have people who leave them up until after Valentine's Day. If they're a red and white display, they like it up longer. It all depends. The city likes it up until after Kwanzaa. It needs to be up, which is a floating holiday, so I'm not sure when it is this year, but, so we have all kinds of time in the takedown schedule. The only thing that really affects takedown is snow, and honestly, yours wouldn't be affected that much. It's our rooftop displays that really get affected by heavy snow, because everything is frozen into the roof. So, on this display, I wouldn't see any issue. You could be one of the first ones down, January 2nd if you wanted, or we can leave it up for later holidays if you want, so, either way.
I think we're good, yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, the only other thing I'd get at is proposal 2 is the same as proposal 1, except it doesn't have Main Street on it.
Jason, I'll just say I'm on the board of the Hagan History Center, and you do all their landscaping and
Yes.
lighting, and everybody sings your praises, so I'm looking forward to how nice Girard Borough will look after you get it done.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
You're a class act.
Thank you, everybody, appreciate it.
Thank you. There's some financial decisions that we'll need to discuss and make, so I'd like to table this, the 2 proposals until we can discuss it during executive session this evening. And then we'll come back, hopefully, we'll come back and be able to vote on a decision after discussion. Anyone else from the community that would like to address the council? Okay, thank you everyone for coming. We'll move on. Oh, there we go. Thought you guys talked about it.
That you're finally gonna say something.
Yeah. That was your opportunity.
I mean, I have to see George.
At this time, we'd like to have our council committee reports. Anyone, Doug, do you have anything for, on the West County
We had
paramedics?
a budget meeting last week, preliminary budget meeting. I have nothing from that I'm ready to bring to you. Jamie's doing a great job of getting that together. They had a health fair out there that was quite successful. And our regular meeting is on well, it's next Monday, 27th. So hopefully they'll have a budget at that point in time that I can bring back to you. But right now, it's just preliminary, and everything continues to be good. No outstanding major issues. Everything seems to be falling into line, and it's being run pretty well. You can be happy that your money's being spent wisely.
If I understand correctly, there's actually a budget surplus at this point?
It's really too
it's-
early for me to say what that is.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, they anticipate a surplus, but as to what that is going to be discussed this week.
And of course, there's always new equipment that's needed too, so.
Right.
So no such thing as a surplus
Exactly.
at this point.
That's pretty
Doc,
much
do
all I have.
you have West County Emergency Management?
Yes, we have it in your packet. As to the next couple of years' budget, it's in your packet to let you know what's coming down. And they're having a vote on it at our next meeting, which is, I have to look at it. Can't remember the date, but yeah. Outside of that, pretty much status quo.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any other committee reports?
Okay, West County Com,
West County, yes, Communication Center, I attended that meeting. We did not have a quorum, and so we rescheduled until November 30th, at which time.
October 30th. And
October 30th,
I
yes.
told Mark I would go.
Okay, we're good then, okay. And at that time, hopefully we'll have a
For the
quorum,
budget.
because we need to pass our budget, and we have some other decisions that we need to make before the end of the year. So that's for the West County Communications Center. I have a brief report from AF Dover Hose and Ladder. You've heard me speak of our training center. It's north of the railroad tracks on Haggerty. Even though it's on the other side of the tracks, it is still borough property. One time we had a well on that property, which we have recapped, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And so we're now using it as a training center, which allows us to bring in a hot box where we can create a fire inside of a container. We had 2 school buses that were donated to us by First Student. And we've had some vehicles that have been donated to us, so we were able to practice with those. Actually, Doc, you were involved in turning one of the buses on its side, I think. There was you were down there with your, you weren't, okay, someone did, okay. But things got kind of messy, so it is now cleaned up. So we're happy to have that taken care of, and actually, we were able to sell. We were able to have the school buses, the car hauled away, and we actually received $800 scrap value. So that's taken care of. This Saturday night is our annual Halloween bash. It's a riot. It's a lot of fun. We have we'll have a DJ there. We'll have a parade with kids in costume, and they'll be judging the costumes and prizes. A whole lot of cider and donuts. Every year I've dispensed the cider and donuts. It's about as fast as I can pour. And we'll have a wonderful balloon artist, magician that the kids are just captivated. Last year, we are on the schedule from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. They wouldn't let him leave. There was a line, and I think he didn't get out closer to 10 o'clock. It's just a lot of fun, and it's something that our volunteers enjoy doing, giving back to the community. And you have to see it to believe it. It's a phenomenon. It's really
Is it
fun.
free to the public?
It says free to, everything is free. Prizes, cider donuts. The DJ, we usually have a sponsor. Actually, we've had a sponsor every year. So so again, it's covered. The cost is covered by sponsors and donations. That's all I have on it. Does anyone have anything else?
Question on that.
Yes,
What day did you say?
this Saturday,
This
6
Saturday?
o'clock to 9 o'clock,
Alright, thank you.
or until 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens.
But then we have the Christmas one also, though, but,
Yeah,
That's on the
would you like to
28th.
comment on the Christmas
no,
one?
that's just we'll have more information for the next one.
Yeah, okay. Yes, we'll have Santa Claus there.
Right.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on to our administrative reports, or from our engineer, Mark Quarry. Anything for us this evening? Nothing, Mark? Okay. And our solicitor, Joe? Nothing, Joe? Okay, thank you.
So far.
Moving on to our manager's report. Rob, tell us what you have.
Item number one is resolution 1-10-2025. This resolution is council approving application for the LSA, the local share account grant, through the DCED for $1 million. And this is to replace the water service lines from the water main to the homes on Rice Avenue, as needed to meet the lead and copper rule. Part of the project may be expanded from Rice Avenue as the funding allows. And the rationale is that Rice Avenue is a state road. The water main runs under one side, so we would be digging or boring under Rice Avenue to meet the state required construction of the road. So we were hoping that perhaps we could petition this grant and ask for funding.
Now, this is the one that's due November 30th.
That's correct. And engineer Mark Corey will be putting together the specifics and applying for the grant for us.
Have you applied for any other grants in this mark, any success in getting them?
Yes, but the success is limited because this is a no match grant for up to $1 million, so there are literally thousands of applications that go in every year. Very competitive.
We'll vote on resolution. We have if I could have a motion to vote on resolution 1-10-2025, resolution for applying for the local share account grant. Tim, thank you. Motion and a second, please. Doc, seconds. Is there any discussion? We did talk about this
It's a special
at our special meeting, our last meeting. And we discussed the reasoning behind choosing Rice Avenue for the project. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of resolution 1-10-2025 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So we'll apply for our grant, and being competitive, we'll see how it goes. Thank you.
Item number two, remaining leaf pickup dates. We're looking at October 30th as well as November 13th and 28th. Again, it's only 30-gallon clear plastic bags to be picked up, and only leaves can be in the bags, but they'll pick up an unlimited amount of leaves that are bagged and set at the curb. And we are asking people to please set them out the night before. The first pickup was on the 16th. We had a few people that dragged them out in the morning while they were already there and gone. Waste Management did come back and pick them up the next day as a courtesy to us, so.
Bro, how long is the Borough Park, refuge, dump, I guess, from the dump, how long is that open?
So that we leave it open until mid-December or whenever the road becomes unpassable. As you recall, last year we had 3 feet of snow at Thanksgiving, so
Right.
we closed early. But we'll keep it open as
Someone will
long
be down
as-
there in December. Someone will be down there in December, is what you're
Yes.
saying, okay.
Yes, Gary Cooper, the attendant will stay there
Gotcha.
as long as the road's passable. Number 3, Halloween will be observed. It's actually on Friday, October 31st, between 6 and 8 p.m. I believe all of our neighbors are observing the same day for Halloween trick-or-treat night. And we do ask to please only go to the houses that have their outside lights on. That means they're participating. And I know in the past, the fire department's been good enough to set off the alarm, the whistle at 6 and at 8. Hopefully they'll be able to do that again this year. Just a friendly reminder about winter parking rules. No parking on the curb lawns or streets between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. November 1st through April 1st. It's important so that we can keep the streets plowed for when it's snowing. Item 5, the time change, it's early this year, just a friendly reminder again, November 2nd. Election Day, November 4th. And I understand the polls are open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Get out and vote. Item number 7, concerning Lake City. At the Lake City Borough Council meeting on October 13th, 2025, President Mitchell, Mayor Burton, Chief Rafferty spoke with the Lake City Council briefly about the police services agreement. Time was at a premium, so the entire agreement was not discussed. Another meeting would be helpful to include discussion of the entire agreement. I don't know if you wanted to.
Yeah, if I could comment, I addressed council and took quite a shellacking. I expected comments and questions, and as it turned out, I was kind of cut short and didn't really complete my presentation. But I don't think either Lake City or any of us believe that this is a dead issue. We'd like to continue conversations, and I think maybe we'll attack this or approach this a little differently. I think Lake City, Ginger from Lake City, you have a committee that's already in place, and I would like us to also establish a committee. Maybe we'll call it a steering committee. I have, we would need 3 members of our council to be on that committee, and I have asked 3 members if they're willing to serve. I asked Council Member Jeannie Miller, Council Member Doc Orr, and Council Member Doug Wright if they would serve. So if the 3 of you agree, you'll be on our committee, and we'll move forward discussing the municipality police agreement.
So if Lake City is agreeable, we would like to have the meeting here. We would also like to publicize it and invite the public for anybody that wants to come and listen. And of course, it would be not only just the committee, we'd like for the mayors to be there. We hope that Mayor Graves would join Mayor Burton there. We'd also like for the chiefs if they can both be there as well. And since it is open to the public, all of council, anybody can be there. We'll just open it right up. The only thing that we're gonna ask is that, at least at the beginning of the meeting, that the public, everybody just allow for the committee to work through the entire process so that we can get all the information out there. And then there'll be question and answer at the end to make it fair for everybody. And we'll set a beginning time and no end time. So we'll just go through it and work out the details. And I doubt any decisions would be made that night. And of course, there won't be any voting because it's not a formal meeting. It's just sort of a work session, if you would.
We want to be careful on not violating the sunshine law in quorum. So
We have to watch how many.
well,
Not if it's an open meeting.
it'd be an open meeting, and
Yeah.
if members of council do attend, they would not be part of the committee at that point. They would just be visitors.
And
Would you have to advertise it though?
We
We
would definitely
We would
have.
advertise and it would be a public meeting, yes.
Just making sure.
And so we don't have a date on that?
We don't, I'd like to get together with Stacy from your office, if that's okay, and allow for Stacy and I to work with the committees and the mayors and the chiefs,
Coordinate a public meeting.
try and get a meeting together.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
It's, there again, it's a work in progress, it may take some time, but hopefully we'll get it figured out. Thank you.
The next item was number 8, and this is concerning zoning fees. For more than 20 years, the cost of a zoning certificate in the borough has been $10. Other municipalities charge $50. If a zoning certificate is denied, the matter can go before the zoning hearing board. Currently, the Girard Borough charges $100 to set up a zoning hearing board meeting. The cost for a zoning hearing board meeting are as follows. The zoning solicitor currently at $180, probably will go up. The stenographer I had originally thought was gonna be $350, but it's not, it's $150. As long
With
as,
this other group?
yes, with sergeants. We were with Muhana and Flowers, and now, they are all retired, God bless them. And, the ones that we found, we're using the same as Edinburgh and a lot of the other communities. If anybody knows any young people out there, stenography, good field, plenty of demand, pays pretty well, just a thought. We originally thought it was $350, but that's if they if they write everything out. As long as the case doesn't go any further than the zoning hearing board, our charge will be $150. Advertising varies, but the last zoning hearing board meeting through the West County News Journal was $203.25, and that's a pretty typical type advertising, so it doesn't vary very much. So with the total of all those costs, it's a lot more than $100, obviously. I'd like to make the recommendation to council that at the budgeting time that we consider raising that cost to at least try and cover the fees, the zoning costs involved. And it's been that way, like I said, more than 20, I've been here 20 years, and it was the same cost when Dick Higley was still the manager. So I'm not too sure when the last time any of those costs have gone up. And I believe Mill Creek is $1,000 for their zoning hearing board meeting, and Edinburgh's $600. But even if we went $400 or $500, at least it'd be better than $100, and it wouldn't necessarily cover all the costs, but it would help to cover it a little bit more than it does now. And with the $10, we do have a certain amount of people. We take the time, we go through, we do all the paperwork. And once the paperwork is approved, it goes to the engineer, so it can be drafted onto the zoning papers, the zoning map. We also send it into the county, and some people, because it's only $10, they never do anything. They don't put up their fence or their shed, put on an addition. So if we raise it a little bit, they could still come in and talk with me, I'd still work with them, but we wouldn't actually, if it costs them more than $10, they might really wait until they're ready to move forward before they get the zoning certificate. And then we don't have to pay for the drafting, we don't have to send it off to the county, it doesn't become part of a permanent record. I'm not asking council to make a decision now, I just wanted to put that information out there, because we will have the budget coming up in November. Council, have any questions? Anyone? Item number 9 is training. Terry Jackson, Dylan Baker attended the electrical lineman training at American Municipal Power week of October 6th. They're back down there this week. I think we can all be very proud of our young men who are learning the electrical trade so that they can help us out here at the Girard Borough. I know I'm very proud of them. I think Dennis is too. I know Dennis works really hard to hype them up before they go down there to make sure that they have all the equipment that they need. And we do try and, anything that we get, we try and put out there on Facebook. So if you happen to catch something appreciate any kind words for our guys, cause they really are trying out there, and they're the ones that keep the lights on at the end of the day. Item number 10, Waterworks Park. So down at the park, we've been working on the plant eradication. We did receive another Pennsylvania Sea grant. So this is the Ecological Field Services. And this year, what they're doing, they're going down there, taking out the invasive trees, and they do what's called a cut stump application. And that begins October 13th, I'm sorry, that was last week. So if you did see people down there, that's what that was all about. The ball fields at Waterworks Park remain unused all season. At one point, it was mentioned that the area could be used as a dog park, so we do still have the waste,
Right, thanks.
yeah, the waste bags down there for anybody's use. And we have been mowing the fields, just because people do actually, they bring their dogs down there now. It's a good training area because so much of the fields are fenced in. I just wanted to point out, we still don't have a permanent dog park, and someone had called probably a month ago to get information on the ball fields, and once again, that was it, I never heard back from them.
Ball
So-
fields to play softball.
The softball fields at Waterworks Park, so there's 2 fields. And I thought instead of investing a lot of money in lighting down there, because as we all know, the field lights down there are shot. Jeannie, you said they were put up in the 50s or
No.
70s? Was it the 70s?
Yeah.
When did you say they were put up?
Yeah,
Charlie
70s.
put them up, right?
Charlie, yeah.
In the 70s.
70s.
They were
So-
candles, right?
Huh?
They were candle lights?
Yeah, I'll give you.
So,
candles.
yeah, so they were, the Public Works Department has done an excellent job of keeping them going over the years, but they really are shot. Before we put a lot of money into that field, I think council may wanna just think about and consider, how they wanna move forward with that park. Jeannie, I hate to put you on the spot, but you take the grand dogs down there every once in a
Yeah, I
while,
take
right?
them down there all the
But
time.
you're not alone.
No, there's other people down there. Yeah.
I've seen you all down there before, and
What's that?
Take our 2 dogs down there all the time.
Do you? Yeah.
But I wanna go on record as saying that we take bags, and even if we're in the woods, on the trails, and they do your business, we take it out. We don't leave anything behind, and I would like to see, at a minimum, us put a couple of bag poles down there.
But there is a bag full down there,
Is there where?
by the ball field.
Okay, but there
Yeah.
should be some on the trails.
Oh, I
too.
don't know about the trail. I don't do the
Just
trail.
Because people can leave that
you
line.
mean like at the entrance to the trail, so
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
see that we
yeah.
have
Oh.
them?
Yeah.
So if we.
Like that one right behind the public pond where the kids go out and fish. There's a really nice trailhead right there. Put a pole right there at the beginning.
A lot of people park right there too,
Yeah,
right by
too,
that
and they
trail.
can see it. And then, back on the one off the road that the guys did such a great job of grading back there, put it back there because there's a couple back there.
I'm thinking of 4, but maybe we should go down and take a look at it, maybe.
Yeah.
If we put it out there, that people can do that, go down and use it for a dog park. Can we, there's 2 openings, is there a chance we could just put a piece of plywood up?
That's if
Are
you
you
decide
talking
to
on the
do it.
field itself?
What's that?
You're talking on the field itself?
Yeah, by
Because there's
the
an
back,
opening, right, up on the backstop down.
right, there's 2 openings on each
baseline.
one, yeah.
Right.
I see.
Doesn't have to be
Yeah,
anything fancy.
That's if you wanna designate. it as a-
That's the field.
Right, if we wanna say that's what it's gonna be.
Oh, you're saying just one of the
southernmost
fields.
field.
Do that on the
Just-
southern
just do
field.
just
I know
one
what you're
field.
talking about, yeah. Maybe we could come up with something down there temporary and then council can decide. You don't
Yeah.
have to decide tonight.
It's
Put it
just
out
such a
there.
great asset, and honestly, the work that Scott did down there, I hope everybody sitting here goes down and checks it out,
On the
because
trail.
it's astonishingly beautiful, it really is.
There's a lot of people.
Every
that
time
use
you
it.
go down, it's just like a different season, a different view, and it's really something. It really is an asset that the community should be grateful to have.
And then you're You're talking about Scott from the school district,
Mhm,
cross
yeah,
country
cross
team.
country, right.
Is the school still using,
Oh, yeah.
They did, and it was this is their home field, which we can all be proud of too.
And my wife is in the Master Gardener program. And the fella that did the survey for us went down there to speak to that group and actually brought pictures of our park and told that group that of all the parks in Erie County, that was his very favorite park because it was so beautiful. So it's really nice.
It's an asset for sure. So I just wanted to bring that up so that, give you a chance to think about it. We can talk about it more in the future. And of course, if somebody does show an interest for softball, I'll let you all know right away. But it's just sad that it sat there all summer, and we maintained the lawn.
You gotta take someone to mow that.
5 to 7 hours, depending on how high it is, to get the whole thing inside and out.
Yeah.
I think when I was in high school or grade school, someone signed me up to mow that. I took my push mower down. I was down there forever. The sweat flies, I don't forget it. They gave me $10 and sent me on my way.
You're still skinny, yeah.
Yeah.
You really still got that 10.
It was brutal. How do you know? Yeah, you're right.
Item number 11 was the Christmas wreaths. Once again, the Girard American Legion Auxiliary, they're asking to host a Christmas wreath ceremony on November 23rd at 1 o'clock on the main stage. Wreaths to be placed on the east and west side of the Civil War Monument to honor our veterans. They were also talking about putting one down at the hotel park. I don't know, were you and Jason able to work that in?
No, I guess what I would suggest there is before they do that, maybe we could, or Jason, if we go with that we kind of work with them in terms of the placement of the wreath. You know, if we're gonna put what we're gonna put down there, it would
They're
make
more
sense.
than willing to do that.
It would make sense to talk to them and say, hey, what do we got? What do you think, right? So maybe give me a phone number to move forward on the project.
Is there a time on the 23rd that's gonna be here?
1 o'clock. Mr. President, that's all that I have. I would ask for an executive session for personnel and legal issues.
Okay. Moving on to our mayor and slash police department report. Mayor?
Sure. First, I'd like to say last week, we received an award, the Hagan History Center received an award for the sunflower field, the 80 acres in the sunflowers. This is from the Pennsylvania Historic Preservation Awards, which is all of Pennsylvania, and it's quite a nice award to receive. And we got it for grassroots advocacy. That's because the Battles of State in the 1900s grew grapes in those fields for Welch's or a company like that. I believe it was Welch's. But so the grassroots advocacy is that we return the field to something special, and they did receive that award. A lot of people are looking forward to it next year. We got to talk about parking and a few things maybe with the fire department, but we want to try to make it better for next year. But their plan is to do that again next year, all 80 acres. So I was very proud to go down and receive that award with the Hagan History Center, and it was at a Carey Furnaces, which is a historical site for metal works from Pittsburgh, and it was kind of a unique building, a lot of rust there, but it was quite interesting. It was a beautiful day last Wednesday, so I'd like to give that to Rob, at least for the archives as well. Also, been working on another project just to keep everybody informed. Jeff Ward had asked if it would be possible to maybe exhume Dan Rice's body and bring it back to Girard from New Jersey. It's in a cemetery that is abandoned, and Jeff's been there and has some pictures. It is a cemetery from the 1800s, so they haven't had a burial. They did have one burial there last year, but if you go there, you can't even see the headstones. The grass, the trees have all fallen over, and it's kind of sad. Dan Rice means a lot to us here, but he doesn't mean too much to the people in in New Jersey. So, I talked to their town council and I talked to, the church that owns the cemetery. And when I say it's abandoned, it's abandoned. I mean, Jeff has pictures, you can't even walk in it at some point. But, there has been people moved out of the cemetery, but they had family members. So I had to talk to like a borough council like ours. They're not sure with a court order, they'd give us permission to, exhume Dan Rice, just cause we're not his family. Not that it couldn't be done, but he was buried around 1900 and he didn't have a headstone until 1940. So where we are digging up, nobody's really sure who's buried where. So, it's something that we are gonna continue to talk about. I have talked to, Jeannie Miller and the Dan Rice committee that puts on the Dan Rice Days every year. Possibly erecting a nice memorial to him in the Girard Cemetery next to his daughter Lottie, might be, a second best alternative. But if we did exhume him, they said we'd have to do it by hand, and then are we gonna know who he is? So there's some, there's some,
Did they say we could bring the stone back?
yeah,
Oh, we
but
think-
the stone is very small.
Right, but
but-
they said we could get that.
Yeah, there's no real rules there now because, like I said, I don't think they've cut the grass there in 30 years. It's been full for over 50 years, and there's no money left to maintain the cemetery. So, and there's 3 that like it. I don't know if you saw the other ones around the area, but they have 3 cemeteries that are totally abandoned, and I just can't imagine, you know, like if something were to happen to the Girard Cemetery where it went bankrupt or abandoned, I would think as a community, we would maintain it, you know, however that happened, but, I don't know how rich in history New Jersey is, and help me with the name of the town, I've talked to 5 people there.
Oh, West Long Branch.
West Long Branch, New Jersey. It's very, I mean, the church is over 200 years old, and there's a lot of history there, but I just can't imagine that there's no relatives left complaining about the condition of this cemetery, but there aren't. So anyhow, that was kind of an interesting little project that Jeff kind of thought it might be a good idea to look into. I don't think it's a quote-unquote dead issue, but it's definitely one that will need to have some, so I guess, you know, yeah, all right. So that was at least an interesting few phone calls with the town, and their solicitor would be very nervous about us coming with our picks and shovels, but people have been moved out of the cemetery, so.
Do it when it starts, right?
That's right, do it when it's.
Mayor,
Midnight run.
you mentioned Hagen History parking at Dover Host. Dover Host did receive an unexpected and much appreciated donation from Hagen
Yes.
for using the parking lot.
Good.
And
But they use it for the dinner too.
they've used it a number of times, and I think we'll have a good relationship there, and maybe they'll continue to donate. That'll be okay too.
Yeah, you know, surprisingly, it was really from Dan Rice Days of the 1st of August till about mid-September, and then they were drooped enough that the travelers weren't coming, but it was a solid 2 months. You know, I know that, obviously, we had some unexpected, you know, we had people parking on both sides of Walnut, which ended up being a little dangerous because of the ditch on the east side. So we corrected that, and then we allowed, the thought was maybe next year to have handicap parking along Walnut on the west side, and maybe the general public, if we were allowed to park at the fire hall. But you know, long and short, I did post about this on Facebook, and you know, even the people that lived on Locust said it was a little tough to navigate even Locust sometimes, but they were glad to have it, and they hope we do it again next year. So I think all in all, the sunflowers were a big success. Hagen has more plans next year. They already have people scheduling for weddings at the Yellow House during those dates that they want to be around the sunflowers for the wedding. So, and I think most of the businesses would tell you it was a good little uptick during those times. So, I all in all, I think it was a good.
Going back to your parking, I would suggest that we come up with some type of strategy that might help some of the, I talked to somebody yesterday on Locust, and you know, they weren't upset, but they were like, you know, we had trouble getting out of the driveway at times because people were parked across. And then going down Locust to Walnut.
Yeah, I think we'll have
it was
proper
tough to get out.
signage.
Yeah,
We
so
didn't,
maybe
it
something
happened so
more.
fast as far as the cars coming that,
Right.
we didn't really have time to plan for that. So next
Right.
year, we've learned some lessons, and I think Hagan would like to work with the fire department, have general parking there with proper signage, and then handicap parking for the sunflowers along Walnut. That's our plan, but certainly will be proposed and talked to before, early next spring.
Do we have a harvesting date?
It really any day, it definitely by the end of October, but they've hoped to have gotten to it by now. They're shrinking down to almost nothing, but they're gonna harvest that any day.
Yeah.
A lot of people were concerned that we, meaning everyone, had not done enough to really promote them and whatnot. It was a soft year, it was a
Yeah.
soft open, if you would. So I believe it was done intentionally to see, first of all, what kind of an attraction would it be. Of course, it was an outstanding attraction. And then it did give everyone a chance to see for themselves exactly what could happen, because we did have so many cars. Nobody could have really predicted that. And I think now, as you're talking, there's a real opportunity there to expand on it from here, because we know. And I also just wanted to mention that whoever's little kids those were selling lemonade during the whole thing over on Borough Street, wow. Those kids, watch out for them, because they have that entrepreneurial spirit. They are smart, because they got right on it.
I heard they bought a food truck already.
It was suggested maybe.
There's the
that-
alarms, kids.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was suggested maybe at the welcome to Girard signs and maybe the Girard sign in the new park, that we could put sunflower stalks on the other side of those just for next year in the spring. So talk to you about that. I know we can probably get those donated as well. Other than that, I'll acquiesce to Chief Rafferty for any comments from the police department. We did swear in. We'll let him do that.
Yeah, just a couple quick things. Tonight we did swear in a new part-time officer, Nathan Miller. He's a full-time officer with Edinburgh Police. Been there a few years. He agreed to come over part-time and give us a hand here. I think he's gonna be a great addition to the department. Yeah, we had 2 applicants. We've got him sworn in. Fortunately, I ran into the other applicant the other day and he was offered full-time with Meadville, so we already lost him before we hired him, but, yeah, we do still have one position left open, and right now the list expired, so we'll have to look into that again. On top of that, Saturday night, the department did do it's called a dim light firearms qual. The state requires every officer to qualify once a year in daylight. They recommend a dim light qual every year, a nighttime shoot, so we went out and did some training and went through the dim light qual. The state, they mandate some things, recommend others. My ability, we're gonna do the recommendations too, so, but it was very productive. It's actually, our new officer came out and met us, and he's a firearms instructor for Edinburgh. So we even let him take over for a bit and show us, he's been to some trainings that our firearms instructors haven't been to, so we got to pick up some of the things that they've learned and from training, and he got to pick up some things that we've learned from our trainings, and very productive. Other than that, all I have to mention is, last year we did the Stuff the Cruiser event out at Giant Eagle with the fire department. We're getting ready to plan that again for this year. We'll get with the fire department and get a date selected. As soon as we get that, we'll put that out there. But that was a huge success last year. Yeah, all the food collected went to the food pantry, and yeah, I think their only complaint was we got so much food for them that they were running out of place to store it all. So it was a huge turnout, great support from the community.
People bring food and put it in the police truck?
Yeah, we have police cruiser on one side of Giant Eagle, and we had a fire truck on the other side, and people would go shopping, people were bringing food to drop off into the cruisers, people were shopping, buying extra and stuff in the cruisers, and yeah, did very well for the food pantry. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Moving on to council member comments. Tim, you have anything you'd like to share?
Yes, we talked about a couple meetings ago, that I wasn't here for last month's meeting. More like, I see more windows are busted, and we're gonna, they got some boards covering up the windows with just branches. I mean, if that was somebody's house, we'd be coming down on them saying,
You have the, M&B, message board there. That's been up there over a year, past they've gone.
Where's that?
The message board, it's that 2 pieces of 2x4.
I saw that.
4 by
today.
8.
I saw that today, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're gonna take that down, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they should've took that down at the end of
When
the.
they left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't
That's
you
been
say
up there
something
for
to
an
the-
extra
I
year.
saw that, yeah.
So the Erie County Land Bank is currently working with, the GAIDC. So it'll be pending the results from that discussion. That's where it sits right now.
So that's gonna be taken care of.
Hopefully,
If not, then the next step will be taken by the borough to include,
It did say the ESI, so.
it is.
I would get a littering fine for M&B, for leaving litter.
Fred, do you know, is part of that still rented to the Clicky family for tool and die, or is it vacant now?
I think, yeah, it's mostly vacant. He's still got some of the stuff there, but.
Right.
Yeah,
Nobody's working
when you
there.
got, whoever replaced the sidewalks too, you know, it was supposed to be, 6 inches for the driveways, and it was only 3. So, anybody use those for driveways, again, it's gonna be broken up, because it's not code.
That's all I got.
okay, Tim. Jim,
I'm good.
okay, Doug,
I'm all set.
George,
Nothing. Good.
okay, Doc, and Jeannie.
Nobody else has anything?
You're ready, you're up.
We left all of it for you.
Yeah, I know. I only have one thing. The article that was in the paper regarding the Methodist Church on the renovations that they're
Yeah, I
doing.
read that.
Yes,
Okay, in there it had that there was a donation made to the church from the downtown Girard. And I posted it on Facebook and I changed it because it's not a donation. The church had to go through the same process that anybody else does that applies for one of our grants from downtown Girard. So they had to apply, fill out the paperwork and, give us pictures, what it was gonna cost and everything. And then once it's done, they'll go through the same process of bringing the receipts and getting their payment and everything. I just wanna make sure to those that read it, that they understand it wasn't a donation, that it was an award of a grant, is what it
So
was.
tell me what I should tell the church people so that when they're asked about it, they can say the correct thing. They received a grant, is that what they should say?
Correct, it's not a donation.
Matching grant.
Mission Main Street
Mission, yeah,
Direct, right?
through the
and they
gaming
do
revenue.
have the paperwork at this point?
Do we have it?
They do. They have it. They've
We
already-
have it, because they completed
Oh,
it.
it's complete, okay.
Right, we've already approved it,
Yes.
but it was because they had to fill out the paperwork to
And
bring to the committee to
And
approve
that's,
it.
that's a match, but it does have a limit,
Right, fine,
$5,000.
right, yeah. But I just wanna make sure to get it
Well, I
right.
appreciate that, because I've had some concerns from reading your article myself.
Yeah, it's like donation, I thought, oh, no.
Well, specifically the gaming revenue. And apparently they decided to look the other way, but up until recently, it was like, no way,
Mm-mm.
you know. But I think it makes sense to take the money, because certainly it's there,
Yeah,
but,
but the idea is they have to do the same as everybody else
right,
does.
absolutely.
Can you, I can't remember, what are they doing there? Doug, you would know, right?
The sales,
The chimes and
The
the
tower
painting?
itself is in bad need of repair. Brickwork needs repointed, there needs to be painting done, there probably needs to be some, wood trim repaired around the windows and around the face of the clock. They're not gonna be able to put the clock back in play the way that it was originally, because they can't find anybody that will give them the parts to repair it.
Sure.
So what they're gonna do is they're gonna bypass the clock mechanism and put a carillon system in. And so you'll be hearing an artificial bell ringing at the appropriate times. But it won't be tied in directly to the clock as the old system was.
They were gonna paint the outside of that, right?
Yeah,
The white's peeling
painting,
and.
and I mean, it's because of the fact that it's so high, and so particularly unique.
Sure.
It's gonna require a lot of setup, a lot of scaffolding, and that's part of the cost too. But they do have a contractor that they're working with, and they're about ready to go ahead and start.
I mean, that's such a big part of our community.
Well, it
It's so
truly is.
visible.
I mean, it really is.
In and
It's a
out of
great
town.
asset, yeah.
Well, the one thing is, that it won't be any times at night, from a certain time to a certain time in the morning. There will be no times going on. It'll just be during the day, that's what they,
I think that's right.
yeah.
Don't quote me as gospel.
No, that's what that's what Byron had said, that was the idea was that.
The article said that too. The
Maybe,
article said none at night.
Right, yeah,
maybe just not as loud as night.
no, just none at night, yes,
To disturb
right,
those sleeping.
yes, that's what started the whole thing, yes. That's all I have.
One item, Jeannie, you're sure?
Last time? Yeah,
That's it.
sure, but we took care of the other thing with the dog park.
Okay,
That was my second.
Fireworks.
this is not normal.
That clock was painted, and I did,
Oh, you paid the clock?
yeah,
You did?
yeah.
There's all kinds of interesting graffiti up there inside the interior of that. As far as, you know, the Borough crew fixed this blankety blank clock for the last time, this is such a date. I mean, it's,
Yeah, a lot of good history.
it's really
There's a
interesting.
lot of good history.
I'd like to take a 5-minute recess and then we'll go into executive session. We have a long list of,
Mr. President, just one thing before everyone breaks up. You know, I wanted to apologize to Mr. Simonelli for misquoting him in the minutes.
No problem.
I am sorry about that.
we just wanted to.
That's all.
No problem, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming to see us.